Hello there, this is Mikhail or Michael speaking. Before I start this video, as you can see, our channel had reached 15,000 subscribers. This is a very impressive milestone that I could not believe we would reach so fast. To all my subscribers, old and recently subscribed, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You can't believe how happy you made me today. So, without further ado, let's jump straight to Bakhmut situation. And before we jump into the city of Bakhmut itself, now it is completely confirmed that the Russian forces, official Russian forces, had reinforced the flanks here and Russians had stopped actively attacking in order to encircle Bakhmut. Perhaps this is because of the possible tunnel that is going from Bakhmut to Chasiv Yar. In that case, surrounding Bakhmut would not do any good for Russians, as Ukrainian forces within it will still receive all the needed supplies. It would seem that Russians had concentrated Wagner troops in the city itself, and basically due to the fact of recently falling out, and basically because of the snow that had recently fell out, it is absolutely impossible to attack in the open grounds. But overall, Russians are still conducting military operations to capture Grigorivka and Bogdanivka, as well as they are fighting in Orekhovo-Vasilivka, along the E40 highway and Zalishansky. In Ivanivsky, Russians are continuously attacking there as well as they are trying to spread their zone of control and attack towards Stupachki and Pritechne. But as you can see, close to Pritechne, there is Konstantinivka city here, and according to some reports, Ukrainians have up to one full brigade here. So in case if Russians make breakthrough here, they will always throw that brigade against Russians to challenge their advance. Ukrainians had counter-attacked Russian forces in this sector and pushed them behind this river right here. Russians are still keeping Ozernikivka. We've talked about what's going on around Bakhmut. Once again, due to the deteriorating in weather conditions, not a lot of things had happened. Russians are also, by the way, attacking from this forest towards Khramove, but without any success as of right now. Now, here Russians are still attacking Ukrainian trench lines, but the reports are coming in that Ukrainians are still holding the MiG-17 monument, so it is safe to say that the entire sector here is under the Ukrainian control. Russians are continuously attacking in these directions to reach this street, or perhaps more to say road. Again, they can use this road to then attack towards Ivanivsky. But Ukrainians again reinforced heavily this sector and are continuously reinforcing it as of right now and building extensive trench lines to defend Ivanivsky from the southeast. The fog of war in this sector becomes more thinner and thinner as we are receiving more and more confirmation of Russian gains in this sector. For example, what we know is that Russians are continuously fighting around Stadion Avangard and had recently captured this much territory on this part of the sector, and as you can see, gaining more and more control from the street of Mariupolskaya. Some sources suggest that Russians had completely taken control over the street of Bakhmutovka here. So that means that not only these sectors are confirmed Russian gains, but also this entire sector here as well. To this sector right here, we can see that the Russian forces had captured basically the center of Bakhmut. Here is the administration building here, I assume. It's called Bakhmutskaya Rada. So basically, yeah, it's administrative building. And had raised Russian and Wagner flag there. Here is the video of that happening.
Вот, давай, крупным планом.
Справа ЧВК Вагнер, слева российский.
Да. Есть.
If you wonder why you can't really see colors and textures on these flags, basically because they are obviously putting these flags in the darkness of the night, and the night vision cannot see any colors because there are no light that is reflecting from them. So that's why they kind of look gray to you. But these are Russian and Wagner flags. So this is the sector they had recently captured. Let me highlight it for you so you can better see it. Some sources are saying that Russians are fighting near and around the stadium of Metallurg, so I guess we can mark this territory as a gray zone, because we don't know whether Russians are attacking from here or attacking from here. I would assume they attack from both sides. From here we go to the north of Bakhmut. You can see that the Russians had captured parking lot here or garages and are advancing along the railroad here. Russians are also attacking in these directions in order to capture of what's left of the industrial zone. They are also expanding their zone of control around and on the railroad itself. And some sources claim that Russians are now entered this sector and are fighting for the train station here. The Russians are also extending their zone of control in this overall sector. They are clearing this sector as of right now of the remaining Ukrainian forces and are attacking along these axes. So this is the situation with Bakhmut as of right now. Now more and more confirmations are coming in that Ukrainians are really using the booby traps. Remember the video I showed you of a building being blown up? It would seem that this is the building that was talked about. When Russians had reached and captured the building that controls Mariupolska Street, the Ukrainians blew it up. I'm not sure how many Russians were inside and had died, but it would seem that Ukrainians continue to use this tactic. But overall, the Battle of Bakhmut is still ongoing and it's entering its most hottest phase, as Russians are basically captured all of the residential areas here and now entering its center, where a lot of high-rise buildings are located, and as you can see, Russians might struggle with them a lot. The Russians are continuously attacking towards Spirne and Verkhokamensky. Situation in Bilokharivka remains the same. They are tangled in positional warfare with occasional counter-attacks from both sides. Same goes in Serebryansky Forest as well as Dibrova, but due to the bad weather, mostly bombarding settlements like Zarichne, Yampolivka, Terny, Novosadove, Nevsky, Novolubivka, and Makiyivka. They are coming close to Makiyivka, as well as they are close to Zarichne, but again, bad weather stops them from attacking more actively. Here I want to show you a video. It's not recent, but overall I want to show you a video how the Russian self-prepared artillery works. It's called Солнцепёк, or if I try to translate it, it would sound like sun blaze or sun heat. So here's the video for you. As you can see, there is no snow on this video, so it's hard to say when exactly this video is taken. But once again, I want to give you a context of what capabilities Russian troops are having and how effective this can be against, for example, trench lines. From the situation in the Liman, we go all the way down to the situation of Avdiivka. Now, surprisingly, Kamyanka still stands. Russians withhold Ukrainian counter-offensive around Stepove, and once again are using the railroad to probe attack towards Novobakhmutivka and the factory plant here. Russians are also attacking from Apitne towards the Avdiivka city itself, but are stuck in the middle of it, fighting for the trenches. Russians are also attacking from Vadani towards Severne and Tonenke, as well as attacking from Vadani in attempt to capture Pervomaisky. They are also attacking towards Pervomaisky from Pesky, and are attacking towards Nevelsky in attempt to capture it. From here we go to the Marinka front. Now, situation in Marinka is somewhat different. Russians are tangled with heavy battles here in the middle of the city, but are attacking to its flank. The village of Pobeda is not captured by the Russians as of right now. The Russians are also attacking towards Novomikhailivka and in general direction of Konstantinivka. And after that we go to the Vuhledar sector. Situation here did not change at all. Russians are unable to gain control over the Dacha area here and still fighting within it, as well as they are slowly creeping to the mines here. The city of Vuhledar is being heavily shelled. Russians are also probing attacks here, but the extensive trench lines that are built in this sector are not allowing Russians to make any progress. So this is the end of the video. I hope you liked it. Again, thanks so much for 15,000 subscribers. Just know that you guys hold a very special place in my heart. If you like my video, please consider subscribing, liking, and especially commenting, as it is promoting my video to more and more people. As always, humanity calls me to condemn all violence against human beings. I hope you have a good day, and always remember, Russia will be free.